Hello, it's Lynn Watts here. I want to follow up today with a couple of really, really great books that you could use in a lesson on kindness. And at the end, I'm also going to share an activity that you can do that would help with demonstrating how children can be kind within the school. So the first book um, is The Invisible Boy by Trudy Ludwig. And Trudy Ludwig writes lots of really, really wonderful books. All of her books are um, very insightful into the psychology behind bullying and friendship, empathy, including everyone. And this one is no different. In the story, just to recap it very quickly, there's a little boy named Brian who appears to be invisible to everybody in the classroom. Even his teacher barely notices him. So he's never picked to be on a team. He's never asked to be a partner. He eats lunch by himself, and nobody really even notices him. They don't really pick on him per se, although occasionally they do make a comment about, why would you have him on your team or something to that effect. But he's not overtly bullied. He's just not included in anything. And one of the very unique things that the illustrator has done in this book, if you can see right here, you can see that Brian is done in black and white. He's sketched in black and white, while everyone else in the book is in color. So the story changes when there's a new boy who is introduced to the classroom, Justin. And in the beginning, all the other kids are a little suspicious of him. They're not really sure whether they want to include him or not. In lunch, he's a little different, of course, in various ways. But Brian is immediately friendly in the sense that he makes a comment and is positive and says something kind to him. And so, unlike the rest of the children, Justin, the new boy, notices Brian and is appreciative of his gesture in terms of reaching out to him. So, as the other children begin to like Justin and include him in things, Justin doesn't forget Brian and he begins to include him as well. So, as the story goes on, the interesting thing is that Brian, who is sketched in black and white, gains more color as he becomes noticed by not only Justin, but the rest of the children and even the teacher in the end. So it's a really well done story, as all of hers are, about how someone can be invisible. Their personality is not so outgoing that they kind of keep at it. In terms of getting involved with other children and how they can be easily overlooked. So, really great story about kindness and the importance of reaching out to everyone. The other book that I want to tell you about is called Each Kindness. It is written by Jacqueline Woodson. And this is actually kind of a very touching and very sad kind of book in terms of the ending. But it is about, it's told from the point of view of a girl named Chloe who has two other friends. So it's three girls together that are good friends. And so, again, one day, the teacher introduces a new student whose name is Maya to the classroom. And these three girls, who are very tight friends, Kendra, Sophie, and Chloe, who's telling the story, are very exclusive. They do not involve Maya in games and talking in any way, even though Maya continually reaches out. She asks to play with them. She brings some jacks to play with and shares it with them, and they are not interested. They whisper about her, talk about how her clothes all seem to be hand-me-downs. And so eventually, Maya really just does not reach out to them very much. They have told her no so many times when she is asked to play or to sit with them. And so one day, the teacher does an activity in the classroom where she brings a bowl of water and some small pebbles, and she drops one into the bowl and talks about the ripple effect. And goes on to say that kindness is much like that, that when you do one thing that is kind, the ripple effect means that it keeps on going and going and affects other people. And so she then asks each child to drop a pebble into the bowl. And as it ripples out, to talk about one kind thing or share one kind thing they have done. And when it's Chloe's turn, she cannot think of anything at all that she's done that's kind. And she suddenly becomes aware of how she has not done anything kind, especially to Maya, who has reached out many times to her. So she decides that this is a missed opportunity and she really wants to be kind to her. Unfortunately, Maya then does not come to school the next day or the next or the next. And each day, Chloe thinks about what she will say to her when she sees her and how she wants to be kind and how she wants to share kindness with her. Unfortunately, there is sort of a sad ending to the story. And perhaps I just won't tell you what that is so that when you get the book and read it, you will see what I'm talking about. But it makes a very big impression with Chloe about how important each kindness is and how the effect of one kind deed can keep on rippling out from person to person in so many different ways. So really, really another very great book. So obviously, if you wanted to do a lesson on kindness, a great thing to do would be exactly what the teacher did in this book, where you have a bowl, maybe a fish bowl, and a few pebbles or small rocks, and have children drop one in, see how what it creates a ripple effect, and then talk about how kindness keeps going and going. And then have each child share one way that they've been kind in the past, or one way that they plan to be kind going forward. So I think those are two great books that help illustrate the importance of kindness. Thanks so much for listening.